Alex. Welcome back to Alex's Custom Garage, built not bought. So I'm getting ready to install the tunnel ram on my 460. So I'm going to walk you through every single step and any issues that come across the way on how to fix them. So let's get busy and install this bad boy. Alright, so I'm getting ready to prep everything so I can stick the tunnel ram on. Tunnel ram is right there. The one thing that I heavily suggest you do and just make it rhythmic is I always chase my threads, use a thread chaser, not a tap, but thread chaser. Even though my heads are brand new still, I like to use a thread chaser on everything. So I have a thread chaser kit. My threads are 3/8/16, so I go to the 3/8/16. And then I run them in by hand. I would not use a drill. I would take the time and run them in by hand. Then when I get done chasing all of them, I'm going to take a roll lock disc, Scotch-Brite. I'm going to clean this surface really good, and then I will put the intake. I'm going to put the intake gaskets on. We're going to go through that step by step. And instead of using the gasket, the cork gasket that Felpro gives you right here, I'm just going to run a good-sized bead of the RTV. All right. All right. So now I'm just going to prep the block. I use a roll lock disc, just the Scotch-Brite. Just kind of clean the surface. It's not going to scratch it. It's just going to clean the surface really good. Okay. I'm just going to do that here and there, and then I'll take some brake clean, and I'll go over it with a rag. All right, so now I got all my threads chased and I got everything, the block cleaned up. Now I'm just gonna blast the holes a little bit, get anything out of them. So I get my racing oil by the barrel. It's fully synthetic. So I'm just gonna get a little bit and I'm gonna put it in the lifter valley. Whoops. Just like so. Alright, so now I'm just going to pour some oil over the lifters, right? Then down over the cam. So by wiping everything down really good with brake clean, it's going to give a really dry surface for the gasket material to stick to, right? And when you're doing that, you can feel for any imperfections or anything that you might have to take care of, any burrs or anything like that, because you want a good mating surface, right? So now I'm just going to set the intake gasket in place just to make sure that everything lines up and that there's no issues, etc. It lines up really good. Looks like we could probably, maybe, we don't even need to take any off the gasket. We're going to be good. All right. So I think we are ready to put it in place. You also want to make sure that your intake is good and cleaned. I'm not talking about this side, the top. I'm talking about here. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to take a roll lock. But you can see right here, it looks like at one time I might have dropped it, etc. But there's a little raised spot that would definitely cause an issue later. So again, I'm just going to take the roll lock. I use the blue. And we're just going to clean it up, right? Hey, also the roll locks, obviously they come in, the Scotch-Brite comes in different courses. I use the blue that's more for like polishing, and it's really light abrasive. You know, like the browns and the blacks, they're a lot more abrasive, but the blue is what I typically use for doing something like this. Does it really cut into the material? It just more or less like a polish. Then once again, I'm going to go ahead and just put some brake clean. Just clean what I just got done polishing up, right? Just to make sure that we're all good. All right. Time to put a gaskets on. All right, so now I got it cleaned really good. I got rid of that little burr or dimple that was right there. So now we're going to do the other side. One thing I do just to hold it into place, I'm just going to put a little dab on a couple of spots on the intake, okay? That just to help hold it into place. Okay. Then everything is good and clean. So now I'll just set it into place, right? Press down a few spots, making sure that I'm good. And she'll stay. Okay. So it'll be about like that, right? Go ahead and do the other side. All right. About like that. Just want to make sure that we can get to all of the bolts, that everything lines up. Right. About like that. That gasket sealer is going to hold it into place. You just want to make sure that you're lined up everywhere, right? Just like so. Now we're going to go ahead and put a bead of RTV across it. Then also I'm going to put some tape across here. When you push down on the intake, or you're bolting the intake down and you're torquing it down, because you got a bead of sealant going across here, you're going to have some go across the front. So it's a nice clean edge. Got me a good bead in the back. Just going to put one in the front, right? Nice, good, clean surface. You want to make sure you tie in the corners really good, right? Do a good job tying in the corners. All right. Rut roll. Rut roll, Elroy. All right, so now I'm going to grab it. I'm going to line that bolt up with the front. It's a lot easier putting this on when there's nothing in my way, right? So we're going to go about really just like that, just kind of eyeball it down there. Shazam! So I'm using stainless steel button head bolts, okay? And you see how the washer fits perfect. Now they make different kind of washers, so you got to make sure that you get the right washer. So now I've got all the bolts in and just finger tight. So I went with the button head because these in here you couldn't get a hex head in. And I like the button head look. So when you're tightening your intake, you want to start in the center and then just work your way out and just do a little bit, right? So we're just gonna snug her down just a little bit, go to the other side, right? Then I'm gonna come over here and I have to use a short Allen and just get it snug. And then go over here and do the same, all right? And then you crisscross it, and you keep doing that until you get it good and snug. All right, so now you just want to make sure you get them good and snug, right? Not wrench them on there, right? Just good and snug. All right. All right, so how tight is tight, right? So if you want to double check yourself, it's about 35 foot-pounds on a big block Ford. That's what I got. So I've got them down there, and then I'm just gonna check a couple of them. You can't get to all of them, right? But you can sure check a few of them. All right, just a quick update. I got the intake manifold on. Tomorrow I'm going to put the riser on, and then I'll put the carburetors on, but we're getting there.
He's gonna go boom, boom real soon.
All right, so now I'm done with the tunnel ram project. I've got the lower part of the tunnel ram on, the actual intake manifold. I was gonna put the riser on, but then I run into a clearance issue, right? So the carburetor is really close to the firewall. So instead of just saying, oh, I'm going to go with a different kind of an air cleaner, I'm going to stick with the air cleaner that I want, which is like a bug catcher type of a deal. So I'm going to end up cutting all of this out, boxing it in to where my bug catcher will fit. So that's going to be on the next video. We're going to do some cool fabrication, paint it to where it looks all really good. So this was a step-by-step video on the tunnel ram. I hope you learned a lot. So don't forget to subscribe and watch how we finish this project.